Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Brandy Fox coming again live with another episode of Talk It Out. I am super excited to have my homegirl Jamie back on here tonight. Hey, girl.
Hey, happy
Hi.
Wednesday.
Yes, happy hump day. We almost one day closer to being on curfew and not going nowhere. And, this girl not doing nothing,
And you
even
know
more
what?
nothing.
South Carolina is totally different. I'm in South Carolina, and our governor, he actually, I saw where I just heard on the news where he wants the kids to stay in school because he's like, he has no control over what the school systems want to do. And I'm like, don't you want to make sure that the kids are safe? So pull them out of school, but instead he wants to keep them in school. So, you know.
That's interesting. That's definitely interesting because, honey, ours ain't playing. Honey, Roy
Mm-mm.
Cooper said we shutting it down, we putting it down, and that's just how it's gonna be.
I have much
But
faith for Governor Cooper and what he's doing because right now I just don't understand what South Carolina has going on. So, prayers to those kids and teachers and faculty and staff that have to continuously sacrifice going to school and possibly catching COVID or being exposed to it due to the circumstances. So it's definitely a little crazy, but hopefully he might change his mind or speak with the school systems and do something soon.
we gonna see. We
Yeah.
gonna see. But so of course, even though we talked about this before, I definitely want to come back on and talk about, of course, how we know each other.
Yes.
So we met back in 2015.
Yes.
Women Entree 2.0. You were one of the founders of it, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Of Women Entree
I
2.0.
came in I came in as a speaker. So I came in to do like the marketing for Women Entree. And then it ended up just working out to where we just continuously work together throughout, I want to say like the next year and a half or so, or maybe 2 years after, which kind of developed doing like Stiletto Boss. And so what I did was marketing, and then I taught a marketing course or the class for Women Entree.
Oh, girl, I don't know why. Maybe because you was close with everybody. I was like, I don't know why I thought you was on the team, but it's all right though. I mean, it felt like it, so
I was the
no worries.
possible. It was two of the
Right,
possible, so I was the possible.
not doing it possible. Girl, I love me a good stage hand. But tonight I want to hop right into this topic because you got me excited when we was talking before going live.
Yes.
I'm super excited to see get this information out here. I can say that with consulting, one of the biggest things that I see that I hear from my clients literally, and I know you know it in marketing, is talking about how to get my social media up so I can get more people.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally I hear that all the time. And it frustrates me because I have to remind my clients that social media is not the only way to get your clients. Like, I need more followers. Ain't enough people looking at my posts. Ain't enough people liking. How do you think all these multi-million dollar businesses started before social media? Because if you think about it, social media didn't really start supporting kind of small businesses the way they have until like the past like 6 to 7 years, really.
Yeah.
Before that, it really was only a social site. So I'm looking forward today to giving out some tips on how you can get clients outside of social media and not letting social media control how you grow and run your business.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing I definitely want to talk about in terms of like clients that do have social pages and are trying to boost their social following, there's a few things that you can do, but they actually have to be honest with themselves. I know for one, are you consistent with how you post on social? What about your content? Is your content engaging or eye-catching for people to even consider scrolling and liking or sharing or saving what you're posting? You have to think about a lot of things when it goes into social. It's just not finding a picture, finding, a quote or something, just slapping it on your grid and then going about your day, just like it is within your stories. Think about the content. If you are a business that's on there, what's going to be an attention grabber for your client that you're trying to pull in. So also a few other things is I want to see if I can pull it up on here. It was quick little tip that I have that I actually posted on my business page. But if you are a social, say we'll take IG for instance. So if you're on IG and whatever business industry you're in, so Brandy, you're in the massage business,
Mm-hmm.
you do mobile massage. So on your bio, you can go to your edit your profile. I don't know if people can see this or not. It might be a little sketchy with my light. But what I want you to think about is in the name column, you can actually write in Brandy. You can do a massage. That way, when people are searching for your business, it's going to pop up. So on my personal Instagram, I have Jamie and then I have branding and marketing. So that way, if you search in the search bar for branding or marketing, I'll be in that top search. So think about those things when you're creating your profile. You want to make yourself um, easy to locate. So with that, whether that's, hashtags or, you have your website listed, make your bio as descriptive as possible. That way it's easier if people are searching for your services or your products, they can find you. A lot of people may not have known that tidbit, and I thought that it was super interesting that when I started searching myself, I popped up in branding and marketing. You would see my personal profile and you would also see my business profile. Another thing too is if you are on various social platforms, just make sure that you stay consistent so that people can easily identify who you are and what you do.
Exactly. And when you talk about that consistency piece, I think people kind of look at consistency and they think more so about like posting every day, the type how much you post. And I I I agree with posting consistently, but I don't agree with just posting anything. I've
Right.
seen a lot of people where they get so focused about posting every day that they post stuff that's irrelevant. And for me, I'd rather not post at all than post something that's irrelevant. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Because the goal is ultimately, no matter what you're doing, the goal is to provide some type of information. I don't care if you knit sweaters. You can talk about the different type of yarn to use for it. Like it's something that you can always be teaching your client.
Yep. Make it
And
informative. Yep.
exactly. So Jamie, I want to shift a little bit and talk a little bit more about like how teaching to a certain extent, like educating on your social media, how that's important. I feel like people overlook the importance of education. How important is that when you're marketing?
When you're teaching your audience or your presumed audience to come to your platform, you're showing them the wealth of knowledge that you have, and that creates a link to trusting. So if I can trust that you know what you're talking about, then I'm going to come back to your page to gain more information. But if I'm on your page and you're posting and it's irrelevant, then I don't want to come back. I don't want to come to, say, my own personal page. If I'm on my 518 page and I'm posting about other things that's unrelative to marketing, then why even come to my page? I don't want to say, oh, I'm experienced in marketing and not be able to showcase that. So I want to educate you on the latest trends, what platforms to use, what features are out. Those are the things that you can consistently share with your audience, to even just give them tips on how they might not be a client of yours, but they could become a client if they realize that, hey, this person is giving me, information that I need. So maybe I need to hire them in order to implement that type of information. But again, you want to make sure that what you're posting is relevant to your industry and what you want to talk about.
And I totally agree. And guys, when you think about education, we're assuming most of the time when you go into a business, you already kind of know. You have some type of for most people, you have some type of connection to that business. Like for me, I started massages because I got a massage, I liked it, I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this would be a good business.
Yep.
Jamie, what was your reason for getting into marketing and branding?
I was always interested in what made people buy. Like, what makes you loyal to certain products, to certain services, and you don't change. And sometimes, and I thought about this earlier when I was getting dressed, I was like, what about Chick-fil-A makes us want to go back to Chick-fil-A? What about Dove soap makes me keep buying that same packet or bar or toothpaste. You know, you've created a loyalty to this particular brand. So within, it seems like no matter what they would do, you know, for that brand, that's just who you're loyal to. So it talks about social triggers, which is the book that I'm reading. It's called Contagious. In the book, it explains why people do the things they do and are emotionally attached to brand services or products. So for me, I just always wondered, like, what are the things that trigger people to purchase or, you know, go see a particular movie or a concert, or, you know, have names in their mind that they don't support anything but that. So is this, of course, there's a science behind it, but it could also be like a psychological thing. But for me, I just always have been interested in that. And in terms of brand, I didn't even really get into branding until I like started working at a mall. And then I realized that people started recognizing me as the girl that worked at Baker's. Like that was my brand because they saw me there, I worked there, and I always talked about Baker's. So that's how it branding kind of formed for me in that way. So from there, I just kind of took it to the next level. And I said, well, if people are recognizing me, they may not know my name, but they know that I work at Baker's. Let me see what else I can do to build on that brand. And I literally became the girl that everybody knew that worked at Baker's.
And that's true. And I feel like that. Like I feel like how you feel about bakers. That's how I feel like about massage therapy now, and even business. Like even going from like Brandy, like they be like, oh, Brandy does massages. Now it's like Brandy does massages and consulting. You know what I'm saying? So I think the fact that I know for me, I took the time to build up, be the entrepreneur. Like Pamper Us, I went straight out. 30 days, I researched, I went straight out. But being an entrepreneur, I really took a different approach in how I did the business, and it worked. I took the approach of doing a full year of education. Literally, before I started consulting any clients, I posted relevant business information every 5 days a week for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And I chose to go that route because I knew at the time Pamper Us was a priority for me. And I knew, and I know being a full-time entrepreneur now, it is impossible. When I say impossible, y'all, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I'm not gonna say impossible because I don't really like that word. I feel like it's extremely difficult to completely grow two full-time brands at the same time.
Yes.
And I see a lot of people trying to do it and then they get frustrated and they quit. You have to focus on one brand at a time to grow a six-figure business. It needs your undivided. It's literally like your baby.
Yeah.
So don't overlook the power of taking your time. I think a lot of people, they get excited. They like, you know what? Like if you think about a beautician, you know, they'll be like, you know what? Busting out these faux locks, honey, every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the faux lock queen. And then you run, instead of like kind of seeing, okay, faux locks just a trend. Like if I learn how to do this, what other braid hairstyles I'm gonna do? What's gonna happen when this trend ends? Am I still gonna be able to maintain? So I think it's important that you stay in touch with what you're doing and make sure that the brand that you're choosing is something that you continue to work with and that you can grow and that you can focus on, and not try to overextend yourself into areas that could basically dilute the brand that you're working on.
Right. And just like you know, going into a year of nothing but education, people can also, or they need to also understand, it's okay to sit still if you need to revamp, refresh, renew, simply because, you know, as in industry, as marketing, as you and I were discussing like offline, it changes every day. So if you're constantly working in like social media marketing, you know, digital marketing, or whether it's traditional marketing, you got to stay up to date with what's going on, the relevancy of what new features are out there. If not, then you're behind in the game. So it's going to take time for you to say, hey, like, you know, all of this, because you don't. Like, there's so many courses, so many you know, articles and features that we have to, you know, read up on in order to tell our clients about that. So you can't service clients if you're not well informed of what's new in your industry. So, you know, as you and I were mentioning earlier, I'm happy that this year I was able to take a reset, because not that I was falling out of love with marketing, but I was falling out of love of the rat race I felt like I was in, trying to service clients that weren't really sure if they wanted to, you know, have marketing or not. So for me, it was like, let me just take a pause and really sit and figure out how I can better serve the clients that, you know, I will start to work with in 2021. That way we can be beneficial to each other and not have that relationship be one-sided. So that's something that, you know, I want to stress heavy, is that if you need to take time to sit and figure out how you're going to pivot or refresh or, you know, refill your glass, then do that. And that's fine. You don't always have to be on, because that can cause burnout.
And that is true. I actually recorded a mini video about this, about like burnout. It's real. Like, I've been there. And, you know, I think with entrepreneurship, that grind, or I remember like last year, like hashtag no sleep. Like, I remember that was so big. And I thought that was like the stupidest hashtag ever. And I don't even like to use the word stupid, but it really was, because I'm watching entrepreneurs literally killing themselves, staying up all night, not sleeping. And of course, we get those moments like that sometimes. Like, sometimes if I got a business idea or I'm working on something, it's on me heavy, I can't sleep. I'm working on it all night. But it was people that was doing it consistently. You can't do that. You gotta be able. Yeah.
Yeah, because your brain's not gonna function. You're not gonna be productive. Like, I get it. There's time when there's great grind hours. You know, some people work better, you know, overnight while other people are sleeping. Some people work best when it's early in the morning, you know, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever can help you get your flow moving. But working 24 hours straight without a reset, that's subject to complete burnout. And, you know, again, because we live in a society now where is, if you're not grinding, then you know how that meme was, if you don't come out of this pandemic with a new business, a new hustle. Like, no, there are some people that are really just trying to make it through, and for that alone takes, you know, you want to just make sure that you're not putting the extra stress on people that probably are having a difficult time managing. So, excuse me. So for that, you know, I was just happy to be able to say, where can I insert myself to make sure that I'm giving the best, not only to the clients that I'm serving, but they appreciate the work that's being done.
Exactly. And going from that, we're going to roll into our first topic of discussion. How can, I know this pandemic is crazy, and if you stay in Charlotte, you know that we are about to go back on lockdown, 10 p.m., be home, you know what's up. So, how can businesses, especially startup businesses that's kind of been frustrated and affected by the pandemic, how can they position themselves right now to be prepared for 2021?
Think about what happened this year in terms of the pandemic. Where was the transition? Everything went digital, everything went online. Even if it's not online, think about your everyday use. We have our phones in our hands 24/7. If you're not a phone person, maybe you went now to news articles or newspapers or print, you know, billboard, telephone, text messages. Think about those additional ways that you can get in front of your clients without having to spend a grand of money, a great deal of money. So, you know, as I was kind of talking to you about earlier, I definitely want to consider, outside of like email marketing, maybe some other traditional ways to market, which will go back into print, or it could go back into local, you know, because I want to service my area. So even thinking about some local concepts, some newspapers, or even postcards. You know, if you have like a small budget to where you want to create postcards, people check their mail. Even if they don't check their mail every day, they still got to check their mail. So you might even want to think about postcards, advertising to clients.
Door hangers,
Yes.
you know, and at the end, guys, we're gonna give a whole list at the end of some tips. And if you can't stay the whole time, or you're trying to catch this later, if you go to our website at www.betheentrepreneur.com, you can just subscribe right there on the first box, and we will email this out to you, and you will also get our brand tips. So that way you will be able to kind of put these things in effect. You'll be able to put these things in effect and be able to grow your business effectively. And Christine asked about postcards, about text marketing. It's so funny you brought that up, because Jamie, literally before we went live, Jamie asked me, have I considered text marketing? And I was like, no, I do offer push notifications via my Pamper Us app. but I totally overlooked text messages. So Jamie, what is your feedback about text marketing?
So yeah, like as I was researching and realizing that I signed up for like two or three different text marketing I guess products or services, it's a great thing, even though I'm not really subscribing to what they're pushing right now. But it's the interest that I have for future. I think it's a great tool to utilize. Text marketing can be anything from, say, for instance, with Pamper Us, as we were mentioning before, you can send out a text message, say, hey, Jamie, I'm in your market, book with us. We have a 30-minute session available, book, text yes to book with us and let us know, if you're available, you can pay here. Or it could be just like, hey, XOXO, I plan to send out a new newsletter with a coupon code. Make sure you don't miss it. So I would highly recommend text marketing. For the people that it's not for, they'll delete it and say stop. But for your customers, if you got a product, say if you sell like a body butter or hair products, and they just want to know when you're restocking, instead of them having to check their email, or you can use both. You can do text marketing and you can do email marketing. And if they're looking for you to restock because you're sold out, that's a great way to get in front of your customer, is with
I
text
totally
marketing.
agree. And I am going to actually throw a link in the comment section. And this is just a quick link that I found online of the 6 best text message apps for small businesses. Guys, take this link down, check it out, and see if text marketing is for you. And the good thing about text is it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Jamie, about how everybody has their phone, especially
Mm-hmm.
now because everything we can't see each other. So are you literally using their phone for everything? And text message is the quickest way. Even like with my team, like we have a whole app that we use for everything. And I send a message to the app, I don't get no response. But I send a group text, everybody respond
Everybody
back. And
responding, yeah.
I'm like, bruh, I know y'all got the same notification, but it's something about that text message that we innately feel like we need to open. You
We're
know,
programmed. We're programmed to touch our phones every 5 seconds. So if you hear a ding, it's gonna automatically be like, "Ooh, let me check my phone. Somebody's texting me." So if you get the text marketing, you open up and you realize, "Oh, this is one of the, you know, businesses I subscribe to, so that I can see what's new and what's going on." It's perfect.
and that worked because I'm gonna tell you, I'm with Old Navy. Honey, when they be dropping their little jean deals and stuff, I be up
Mm-hmm.
in there. And I don't even shop at Old Navy enough, but they send it. And like another one, like my kids love Sweet Frog. And and the thing I love about text messaging is people they do it perfectly. Like Sweet Frog, they always send it Thursdays about 3:30. Around that time, kids getting out of school, getting
Yeah.
home. And it's I'm and it's when I get caught up in like sales tactics, I think about what made me want to pursue it. So like I'll pick them up from the bus stop, and right when I pick them up, I get a text. Uh, Sweet Frog has buy one get one 50% off. So I'm like, shoot, I'm like, y'all want Sweet Frog? They're like, yeah. And then
I'm
boom, we'll
telling
go.
you, it gets me the same way because I'm a subscriber to Sweet Frog, and you're absolutely correct. Mine are always on Mondays around like 3 o'clock, and it'll usually be come in today for a 12 ounce or a 14 ounce, take $2 off, or it's like happy holidays, come in, enjoy a 14-ounce cup on us, or whatever the size cups are. But
Yeah.
Sweet Frog is notorious for that. And at one point, I remember saying, "Oh my God, they're harassing me," and I ended up going because I love Sweet Frog that much. So yeah, it definitely works.
It does. And so I did, guys. If you are looking for a list, please check the list that I just put in the chat. That has a list of the top text marketing apps. And that is a easy and efficient way for you to be able to reach your target market without social media. Because y'all gotta remember, even though it's a lot of people on social media, it's a lot of people that's not on social media. Like they might have a profile and all that stuff, but they might not get on. But 99% of the United States population has a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
99%. So the odds of that is definitely higher. So text marketing is definitely good. Going back to positioning your brand for 2021, any other tips that you can give as people close out this year going into 2021?
Yes, and then think about behaviors again. When marketers look at or do market research, I think about patterns and strategies and things that stuck out this year. So a lot of it was, excuse me, with user generated content, or if you see UGC. And what that means is that the people who are subscribing to your pages, or the people who are purchasing your products, they're creating content. When it comes to your brand, like they're creating the content for you. So all you have to do is repost it. I know there were a few examples of, things going viral or people seeing that, but think about word of mouth. Like word of mouth is not dead. That goes to a form of, like traditional marketing in a sense, where if people like something, they're going to tell other people. So that creates social currency for your product or your service. If Brandy's killing it and everybody is nonstop talking about her massages, what's that going to make me do? I need to have a massage by Pamper Us Mobile Spa, because if
Come
not, I'm
on.
missing out. Again, we're in a society where if we are not a part of it, we feel like we are missing out. So for that reason alone, that's another way you could position your brand. Get people talking about your product. Like, one quick thing I want to mention for me is, like, you see me with the Impact shirt, Empower Today shirt. I'm making people feel like their impact matters. So for that, I'm highlighting several people who create impact on a daily. So if you think you're a person that are a part of creating impact, then you want to be a part of the movement, and you're helping me to spread the message of impact simply by wearing a shirt, and people are asking what that means. So I don't have to really market, because there are people who are marketing the product for me. Even though it's a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, or a hat, but it's still carrying the message of, wow, I didn't think about it in this way, of creating impact. So think about all the people who have been impactful in your lives, your teachers, your parents, family members, or whatever. That's what is most meaningful to them. So it's creating an emotional feel for them to be attached to it.
Right. And then to piggyback off that, before you get to the word of mouth, you have to focus on your customer service. Because if your service is not good, they're not going to refer you. And I think that's a lot of things that new entrepreneurs overlook. They want to hop straight to, I want to do my business, do my service. And your business is not properly prepared. So now you got this new client, your new business, you setting your first impression, and it's not going well. Because I've had clients, like, for example, I had a client that had a car detailing, really good car detailer. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. I had a couple of guys, but this one is in particular. But for him, he struggled because he did not know how to manage his customers. Like the what's it called? The consumer buyer process. He didn't have that in place. He felt like because he knew how to detail cars, that's all it would take. But it's like 8 steps before you even get to the detailing. Right. How are they finding you? How are they booking? Once they book, what's the next step? Do they get a questionnaire about their car?
Right.
When do you send a reminder? Yeah. Exactly. Have a business process in place. You should have a customer. I can't forget. The perfect term, but it's basically a customer business process where you show every step of how your customer goes from thinking about the inquiry all the way to post. How are you following up? And it's no way to get the word of mouth that you need if you're not giving people an experience. You know what I'm saying? You have to do something that's outside of normal. I can get anybody to clean my car, but if I got a guy that's cleaning my car and my tire's shining every time, it smells good, I get in, I feel good, I'm like, oh shoot, he cleaned this car good. I'm about to start sharing, and if anybody I know that's asking for a detailer, I'm already gonna tell them you off the rip because you did a good job. So don't forget to start from the beginning and get your customer service together before you start acquiring new customers, so you can make sure when you get that new customer that you keep that customer.
Right. The user buying experience, or the customer buyer experience, says a lot, because it's going to make that person come back to you. What about you, maybe? Because again, there's, various products on the market, various people that have those products, but what is going to make that person come back to you specifically to buy? People also have to understand too, your customer service can kill your entire business. A lot of people are in business to make money. Of course, we all are. We're all in business to make money. However, you're solving a problem, and that's the reason why that person is buying from you or investing in your business. So think about that. If you're just taking it as, I just want to take this person's money, then that's a terrible way to even look at it. Like, you're solving a problem, like you mentioned with the car detailer. This person is looking for cleaning their vehicle. They need their vehicle to be clean because maybe they don't have time. Maybe that's just not one of the things that they want to do personally. So they're hiring someone else to do that. So think about that process and that experience. Once you speak to the client, ask them, tell them about the services that you offer. Maybe you can even upsell them on another service that you offer while they're detailing. That's going to make them come back. Exceptional service means everything, from the first phone call to them leaving a review, if they decide to leave a review, and that's whether it's positive or negative. You got to think about that.
Facts. That's a fact. Okay, so let's transition into, how do you create a brand message that grows brand awareness? Like, I know a lot of my entrepreneurs, they struggle with being able to tell what they do. They, you know what I'm saying? They know what they want to do. They can describe it, but they have a problem being able to describe it to customers to the point that the customer want to buy. And I know for me personally, I struggle with that when I first started Pamper Us, because I offered so many services. You can do so much with me. So when I met people, I was literally trying to tell them, my name is Brandy Fox. I own Pamper Us. We do mobile massage, nails, makeup, hair. Obviously, like, I was running down all this list, and I'm like, okay, Brandy, this not gonna work. Too broad. You know what I'm saying? I need to narrow down my brand message, and that brought me to bring the spa to you. We bring the spa to you. Me, y'all, I'm telling you, me simplifying how I describe my business, literally to bring the spa to you. That don't bring the spa to, those 4 words changed everything for me. Like, I never, no longer did I have to explain what that looked like or anything. When I say bring the spa to you, people automatically knew off the rip what they mean. Oh shoot! So I already know it's starting with massages. So what are some tips that you would give to create a brand message that grows your brand awareness?
First, I think that, and that's something that I struggle with too, because I can do several things, in the marketing realm. I always struggle with, okay, what part am I going to tell people that I do? Because before, it was media, it was marketing, it was branding, it was publicity, like it was so many things. So now I just tell people, I help you to identify and curate a captivating messages for yourself. That way you can attract your audience, but in shorter terms. But that's pretty much what branding is in messaging as well as marketing. So when you think about a brand message, you want to start with, what are you offering, right? Like you said before, you bring the spa to your clients. So when you create a message, think about what you offer and how that's going to benefit the person that you want to sell that to. So if I'm trying to think of a company that it could be like an easy brand message for them. I can come back to that because right now it ain't registering. But the main thing is simplify it. Don't make it so intricate that, or make it so difficult that you yourself are going to stumble through it each time people ask you what you do and what you offer, because then it looks like you don't know your business that well. So a couple tips I would say for creating your brand messages: talk about what you do, what you sell, what you offer, who you're going to offer that to, and what I want to say, what problem you're solving, right? Also, think about who you want to service in terms of customers. Get in the mind of the things that they buy or support, and then start speaking to them in that language. You have to create a customer profile or a customer identity profile to understand who are going to people that are buying from you. It could be a group of women that are moms. They're in their mid 30s to 40s. They are corporate America women, and they need time away from their kids. That could be a customer profile for you, Brandy. And for them, bringing a spa to them helps because they don't have to drive. They don't have to leave their kids. They can just have quiet time in their homes. That's the perfect customer profile. I have a 35-year-old woman that's a professional. So she gets off her 9 to 5. She has 2 kids. She needs a few quiet minutes. So 30 minutes to an hour where she just needs to be serviced at home without having to run out with the kids. That's the perfect customer profile. So you're solving the problem of her having to leave her home, leave her kids, and you're solving the problem of her having to do all of that in one without having to go into several different places just to make that happen. Perfect.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah,
That's
we have
perfect.
to get in the business of, before you say you're in business and you want to create a business or create a product or a service, study your business, learn more about what you're offering and what you're giving, because if I'm buying from you, I shouldn't be able to tell you more about your business or your service than you know for yourself. Fall in love with your business. Again, you're in business to make money, but fall in love with every piece part of it, from the building stage to the execution stage of what you're offering. And more people, and I'm saying this to myself as well, spend time with learning more about it. Um, be more educated on it. Find tips, resources, and tools that's going to help you to push that message even stronger. That way, more people are inclined to say, you know what, this person really loves what they do. And that can also create loyalty to a person or a service, because they see what you're doing, you do a great job of it, and they want to continue to support you to do so.
And that's a fact. I can definitely say that's been beneficial for me. Like um people tag me. I probably say I get like 5 to 10 tags a day in a group about massages. And I would say I probably convert about 70% of them to my new clients.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? And these are just people, and that's why anytime, like, no matter how many likes, how many shares, when somebody tag me, I always make it a personal responsibility to thank them, because you ain't have to do this. Your one tag just got me a new massage client. And it took you
Mm-hmm.
all of 2 seconds to tag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the people who do support me, the people who do support you, they're gonna be your mouthpiece. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna start doing it for you. Because if you think about it, um, I think about a restaurant like Barbecue King. Like, girl, I love Barbecue King on Wilkinson. You know what I'm saying? That's not a place that you ain't gonna find that on Charlotte. Welcome to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say pull up on Barbecue King. But if I got a family member or a homegirl that's coming in town, like, let's go to Barbecue King. Yeah, this is gonna be good. And now, I've created a new client. I've created a new customer for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbecue King ain't out here. They don't have no commercials. They ain't doing nothing. And they've been running since the 60s. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that word of mouth is important, and we don't want you guys to get that. But in addition, once you identify your brand benefit, what I want to say is use that as your foundation of marketing. I think sometimes people make marketing too hard. Like, oh, I gotta have lights, I gotta have fireworks, I need a whole reel, I need to do this. Y'all, that's good. You want to have those type of things to engage, but that's not what you need to do to get your clients. That's
Yeah.
entertaining, but to really get them, you want to show the benefit of your business. Anytime I push be the entrepreneur, if we even go to that, be the entrepreneur, I push the benefit of my business. The benefit of my business is that I can take you through the startup business process, from the vision of your business to starting your business within 30 days. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can do for you. You ain't got
Yep.
to spend years researching, trying to figure out, messing up and coming back literally in 30 days. You can have a full business that you want. I market that because I know that's a pain point for my clients. They
Right.
don't, when you start in a business, you sometimes don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So focus on the pain points and use that as your marketing. If you think about it, everybody do it. Think about like the Snickers commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're hungry, grab a Snickers. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was just so cute. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, like, when I get hungry, and my stomach grumble, I'll make the joke of, if you hungry, grab a Snickers. And that's innate. You know what I'm saying? I love Snickers, but I don't even eat them like that that much. But when I hear that term, it automatically pops in my head.
Right. Yeah, like
Um,
you can take time to, even if I'm a writer, I love to write things down and not try to leave everything up here, in my head. So as a brain dump, write down the pros and cons of your business. Think about why people would buy from you, and even put yourself in place as a consumer. What about this product is that I love? Is it the consistency in the make of it? Is it the customer service? Is it the location? Is it the feel that it gives me? Is it nostalgic piece? Is it just an overall feel? Like, what's gonna make me be this person that says, you know what, you got a customer out of me for life? I don't think many businesses understand that. So to all the businesses who are new, who are thinking of starting businesses next year, of you kind of started, your business process this year, that's how you define your value proposition within your business. What's going to make you stand out, whether that's your messaging, whether that's the product that you created. What's going to make you stand out amongst your competition. And then that way you can define that. You don't have to cement it, because you can always go back and rebrand or change some things, but that's going to lay the foundation for you to be able to start to draw in attention and awareness to where people are like, oh, this is something new. I want to try it out. And then once you try, either they'll stay a loyal customer or they'll decide this is not a right fit for me. But make sure that you can identify what that value is.
No, I totally agree. And I think based on piggybacking off that, I think you have to be transparent with yourself as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitly, like I know, and and not just black businesses. I hate when people say I've had bad business of all races. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
for me, sometimes when I deal with that, I think about like, they cannot honestly really think that, you know what I'm saying? They're giving good service. Like if you were me as a client, would you want somebody to handle you like that?
Right.
And a lot of entrepreneurship, what I'm learning is self-checking. Like
Yeah.
I know for me, I had to self-check myself because like even how I ran Pamper Us. Like for me, I'm kind of like I communicate, but like I kind of just kind of go with the flow. Like if you say you want to book a massage, I'm gonna book you. We're gonna go and roll. But what I realized is with massage therapy being not intimate, but being like such, it's you got somebody coming in there to massage you. I realized that I can't handle that like something like be the entrepreneur. Like here it is. People want to know, I gotta talk. They want to talk to a live person. They don't, they email is okay, but they want to hear a voice. They want to see who coming, what's going.
Because
It's
their
a lot
body is
more.
involved. Like they're sharing a part of their body with you. So they want to feel comfortable. And if I get the creep vibes, and I don't want you coming to my house, you know what I mean? So they want to feel comfortable and connected to whoever's going to provide the service for them. So you're right.
Exactly.
As that person, you want to make the person on the other end feel just as comfortable, as it was somebody that that's booking a service, just because they're going into new territory. So they're not familiar with how you rock as the business or what type of service you provide. So I want to be as comfortable as possible sharing a piece of my body with you.
Right. And at the beginning, it used to aggravate me because that's not me. Like, when you would be the entrepreneur, I can literally send it and go, like, just what you
Right.
need to do. Boom. But I'm like, okay, Brandy, these massage clients, you gotta put a little love on them. So, I
Yeah.
make sure like, instead of emailing and stuff, like I've my team now, I got them set up to where they call clients. So after every appointment, even if we do send the recap, I have it to where we call as well. Hey, we wanted to follow up and see how everything goes. And I've definitely seen it's been a big benefit for me because I've been able to get good feedback. This is going amazing. And I've got things that we can work on, that I wouldn't have known because a lot of people, they do the surveys, don't get me wrong. But what I see with my surveys is they won't do the bottom part, additional information. It's always like yes, no, yes, or yes, yes, yes. But I miss, like, I really want that bottom part. What can we do differently or what could we have done better?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a client that said that they were upset about something with the service. So I say that to say, like I said, I had to just be real transparent with myself and how I wanted my customers to kind of relate to Pamper Us. So don't be afraid to do that, y'all. You got to check yourself. You have to be able to check yourself as an entrepreneur. Like, I know you think your business the bomb. I know you think it's the best out there, but it's not what you think. It's what your clients think. If your
Mm-hmm.
clients don't feel like you're the best business, they don't feel like you're meeting their needs, they're gonna go to somebody else. So it's either you kind of check yourself or you're gonna be losing potential clients that can be lifetime clients for you.
Right. And don't be afraid to change things if they don't work. I know with a lot of businesses, they just kind of have like a formula or a certain standard that they go by, and they keep that standard. But sometimes that standard don't work because you have a whole new audience of people that you're servicing. So you got to change some things, expand some things, downsize some things. Always be open to change with your business, because that helps a lot when it comes to the
Girl.
type of people that you're going to service. So even getting the feedback, that feedback can help you scale to a whole nother level. But the constructive criticism helps, because that's what you want to hear from in your business. If everybody was just like, oh, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, and it's like, dang, like, can I get exceptional at one point, or is it just is it just average just because you know me, you just want to come, and for me to provide a service for you. But yeah, honest feedback is definitely beneficial to helping businesses stay afloat or sinking.
Right. So if you don't have, I use that to streamline right into, if you do not have a customer feedback survey or after you provide any service for your clients, you are missing out. Not only is that an opportunity for you to reconnect with your client, because what I've noticed is, like Smoothie King, I love Smoothie King, apps, points, all that stuff. I'm in there. So even with Smoothie King, like, at the bottom of a receipt, there'll be like a review. And then right beside that review is always some type of ad. You know what I'm saying? If you do this review, you get $1 off next time. So you mean all I gotta do is tell you what I felt and I get money off?
Yep.
Think about those easy ways to get your clients to give a review. You know what I'm saying? For me, I give a percentage off your next massage. So just figure out what works for your business. And maybe the incentive option might not work, but you need that feedback. Because I know for me, if I didn't get that feedback about a lot of things I needed to change with Pamper Us, I wouldn't have been prepared for no expansion to a whole nother city. It's no way I would have been, because the mistakes that I was making here in Charlotte, it would have crippled me. If I would have tried to expand that out, I would have lost my business. So don't be afraid of feedback. You need it. You want it. You want to make sure you build a business that your clients want to consistently support. And the only way to do that is to hear their feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. And your brand is your brand too. Another point to make is that what's working for your business, Brandy, may not work for my business, even if we are in the same, industry, because you put your own sauce to it, just like I would put my own sauce to it. So I can't go and try to copy, what you created, thinking that I'm gonna have the same outcome. Now, granted, there might be some pieces where you might get some of the same results, but you've created your business model a certain way. I have to create my business model a certain way, because again, when you copy and paste, it's just not the same. Think about all these copy brands that are out there. You can always tell the original from the copy. And
That's a fact.
Those people don't put that same, sauce on it that the originals do. So that's another thing that people see. We get so caught up and overwhelmed, and it's all these brands out here, and I'm just trying to keep up. Well, if you feel that way, pull back and figure out what's going to help you set yourself apart. Then come back with that and hit the ground running and just kill it that way. Other than trying to take, what you see from another brand, slap it on whatever you got going on and thinking that you're going to get that same outcome, because it's not going to work that way. Take time to research, feel the market, research the market, figure out what it is that you're offering, so that way that can be exceptional for the people who want to experience whatever you have to give them.
Exactly. Be unique. Be unique.
Right.
So I want to talk about the importance of knowing your marketing strengths and delegating your weaknesses. One thing that I'm real big on, and I wasn't at the beginning, but when I started doing it, it changed my life. Delegation. Y'all. And people think, what, my business ain't big enough for me to delegate. I don't have enough clients. There are small things in your business. And when we say delegation, that doesn't always mean a person. That means kind of putting that responsibility off. A simple example of delegation would be your social media. Any of my clients, they'll tell you, I'm all about social media automation. You know what I'm saying? Before I had a social media specialist, I would take every Sunday 3 hours and I would plan out all my social media, for the month, and then I would go and sell it. I would go and schedule it. That was a weakness of mine, because I had difficulty getting up every morning, thinking about what I'm going to post, finding a picture. That takes almost 30 minutes to 45 minutes every morning. So for me, I delegated my social media by utilizing a social media scheduling app. So when we talk about delegation, like I said, don't just think about people. Think about the systems and technology that you can use to make it easier for you to run your business, even as a solopreneur. Don't overlook the power of technology.
Right. They're out there for a reason for you to use, to simplify the process, not to make it more difficult. Because again, you can't be all things, especially if you're a one person, business owner at the time. You're trying to schedule your social media, write the content, take the photographs, do the product, get to service the client. It's like so much that you have to do. And I'm so bad at this too. So delegation is also on my list for 2021, is You can't do all things, Jamie. Give this up to somebody else who will be better at this. So you're absolutely right.
And don't be afraid to barter. Like, I don't know, like, if y'all go into the history, especially African Americans, I can't speak on everybody. I'm Black. That's what I know. But the barter, the barter system was key. Like back in the day, people didn't have cash. But girl, I need some milk. I ain't got no cow, but I know how to sew. So how about I sew you this shirt and you give me a bucket of milk? Y'all, that's how communities started and that's how communities grew. So grew back in the day. So don't be afraid. Like when I first started, even now to a certain extent, I barter. Like if I have somebody that can offer me a service and I can offer them a service in exchange and we're not losing money, if you have a service that you're doing, I'm down to barter. Like, okay, girl, if I do this, you can do this. That way we're both benefiting and nobody is losing money because y'all know that, especially when you first start, and every penny counts. Every penny counts. So if you got a home girl that just started a marketing business and she looking for clients and you just started your business, hey girl, if I give you this, would you mind consulting me on marketing, for an hour? Use your network. I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to do everything ourselves. Like, I want to go out here. I want to be great. I'm about to build this brand. And you forget to use the community of entrepreneurs and amazing people that you already have in your circle. I guarantee you, if you write down your business needs right now, you can identify people to fill those roles. And if you can't identify, somebody that can connect you with those people. Don't overlook the power of your current network.
Yes, let's normalize that. Let's speak that more in terms of collaborating because we don't do that enough. And I think that if more people honed in on what their strengths were, then that would even help some people in their business. Because say if you had a community of women, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5, and we were all good at one specific thing, within those 4 to 5 women, you could get things that probably have been sitting on your task to do list for so long, but because you opened up and let them know where you were struggling or you fell short, they took care of it just like that for you. And boom, now everybody's satisfied, and now you can move forward with the next, task that's on the list for you to do. If you need a person to help you create copy, somebody that can help you design, somebody that can help you come up with captions, or reread something for you, or take a look at it. Like there's just so many ways to barter that we should just normalize what that looks like. And it's not always I'm trying to take from you or not respect you for your time or your value, but at some point it's okay to exchange services that way. Everything
And
doesn't
people
have
get
to be
offended.
a currency exchange or a monetary exchange, right? We're exchanging
Right.
our skill set. So that's even better. Honestly, that's even better sometimes because I mean, how many times maybe when you started that you paid for a service and you could have did that yourself? Okay. So it's like, sis, what can you do? Because here's what I can do.
And that's how I operate. That's literally how I grew Pamper Us. No lie. Like I was like giving massages for services or even giving my expertise for services. And I just been seeing a lot lately. I'm in like every Black business group, especially the ones in Charlotte. I'm in every one. And one thing that I consistently see all the time is how people bash, like, don't hit me up. Don't hit me up if you ain't paying. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just such a crazy mindset. And I'm not saying that every person that you work with, you know what I'm saying, that they should barter. But if you have somebody that you can benefit from and do a service that costs nobody nothing, what is wrong with it? Y'all got to remember, money is important in entrepreneurship, but it's not everything. And that's why you see the people who going into entrepreneurship for money, their business is failing. And not even trying to be literally, it's failing. And because that can't be the reason, because it just doesn't work. It's like going into a relationship just for just to have somebody to say you in a relationship. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to partner and work together for the bigger image. So don't be afraid to partner people. Don't be afraid to ask them. You never know what somebody be willing to do. Hey, girl, are you open to this? If they say yeah, boom, you got a partnership. You can barter. If they say no, don't be offended. Understand that where they at right now, they're not trying to barter with you and they just want their cash. That can be a plus for them or a minus. Just know that's not somebody you need to collaborate with, and go ahead and move forward and find somebody you can collaborate with. Get your needs met.
Yeah, when you in it for the money, that's what you're gonna forever be chasing is the money, not anything else that you're gonna get out of it, and you'll get tired of that hamster wheel real quick.
Girl, burnt out. Let me tell you what, if I went into any of these two businesses over some money, girl, I'd be laid out somewhere because it's been a few times I've been like, you know what? I ain't doing another massage. I ain't sending another person out. Like, I just can't do this anymore. And I realized at that time they got to that burnout phase. That's when I felt like I had did so much. I was going so hard, and I didn't take the time to really figure out, Brandy, what is wrong?
Right.
You obviously, especially people who have a good business, like you're making steady money. You're not might not be making the money you want, but you're making money. But you like, okay, how do I get over this hump? How do I get from making just enough for it to be a part-time or even maybe a full-time to being comfortable and fully using my business to sustain my lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? So you got to really think about what is keeping you from that, because it's something. There's something, and that goes back to that self-checking. Don't be afraid to check yourself. That's really important. So let's talk about the top ways to grow your business outside of social media. We're gonna bust out some tips. And guys, if you're just joining us, please feel free to follow us. You can follow me, Be the Entrepreneur. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and you can follow us on YouTube at Talk It Out, and we'll be able to give you all these tips. But we're gonna close out our top tips that you can take right now and finish out 2021 and make sure that your brand is gonna get where it needs to be in 2020. I mean 2020, 2021. Girl, I got excited. I'm skipping years in here today. Okay, Jamie. So run us down your list of tips, guys. I'm gonna make sure I type them in the comment section. So make sure you got your pen and paper out, or make sure you subscribe, and I will put the website on there. But go ahead, Jamie. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me the
No,
question.
you good.
Look, I got my notes together, and I was looking. I was like, oh no, where did I mark that at as far as my tips? Okay. So what? Tell me the question that I'm answering again. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. We're at the we're in the closing where you kind of give out the tips that the top tips to help a person grow their business, like for marketing outside of social media. What are those tips?
Okay. All right. So when you want to focus on visibility, that means basically being seen. So number one thing you can do first, as I mentioned back in the old school, is word of mouth. Don't be hesitant to use word of mouth, because that's always going to work. Whether that's a walking billboard or a spokesperson, think about it as being an ambassador. So once one person experiences what you have to offer, they're going to tell another person, that person's going to tell another person. So don't be afraid to go by word of mouth. So whatever product or service that you have, think about it in that aspect for people to write reviews, send you reviews. If you're not, if we're not using social media, then you might have that on your website, so for people to pay attention to. And that's something too. There's free websites out there that you can utilize to be able to get your product or your service out there. You can do customer reviews again through text marketing to let more people know about the product that you have out there. Think about print materials that you can send. We mentioned, door hangers. Think about postcards in the mail. Think about any of those physical things that people can look at and say, oh, this new business is around. So that's something else to think about for marketing or for branding your business in 2021. Also, I was trying to, it was like two more that I had that you can do. I said newspaper. If you're local and you have a local business, think about still marketing with your local newspaper. I'm pretty sure as many people that you might not think still read newspapers, there's still some analog people in this world. I'm still old school. I still buy a paper every Tuesday because I be want to know what's going on locally. So think about that idea because if you're trying to reach another demographic as well, you might be able to connect with them in that way. And one more thing that I was going to think about, I have to come back to that, but those are some of the things that you can think about in terms of marketing for 2021. But I also wanted to bring up too, with social media, video content is going to be key. Every single article that I've read, every clubhouse I've been into, everything is like digital is spiking to a whole nother level. They're going to push more reels on you. There's going to be more Facebook video that you'll have to do. So if you're not comfortable like shooting video or either speaking in the camera, maybe you can work on just creating some dope content to where people are going to just like stop and scroll. Another thing too, likes are not as popular as they used to be. Shares are important and saves are important. So if you're creating content, create that content that's going to make somebody want to share it with their audience or share it with other people that are on their timelines. And also they're going to save the content. Right now, even if you have followers or likes, that's not important as more people sharing and saving that content. You want to think about that. I actually found my little found my notes. Hold on. One more thing that I was going to talk about. If you have a product that people can shop, make sure that there's easy access to that. So if it's like IG shopping, IGTV, IG Live, use of Reels, any of those video concepts or video content, YouTube, make sure that you're using those platforms in order for people to see you. Again, visibility is key. If I don't see you, I can't buy from you. So in the new year, don't make the excuse that nobody is buying my product. Keep pushing your product until, it don't even matter if you're getting tired of or you feel like people are getting tired of seeing it. For every 7 to 10 people that you feel like is getting tired of your product, there's going to be 3 to 4 out of those people that are going to stay with you and they're going to purchase. Why? Because they're going to remember your grind from the beginning until now and see how much you've grown. And they can respect that a whole lot more than you just posting things just because you want to have something to post.
And that's a fact. I hear that all the time. With me coming up on like 10 years next year, girl, it's so many people, especially on LinkedIn, because
Let's clap for that, because hello 10 years.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. I'm excited about it. I'm pumped. Every time I get on the show, I talk about it because I just believe it. But I say it to say, like, a lot of my clients I have now, it came from that. They be like, Brandy, like, I remember when you first started Pamper Us. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember you out here going to every appointment. So to see you being able to expand and being in a whole nother city, it's crazy because when people follow you on their journey, you get that connection and they like, dang, like, she did it. And people literally support me. A lot of people support me because they see the growth. They see how I'm changing. They go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
No,
say it. I don't want to miss it.
Don't sleep on podcasting.
Yep,
podcast is, one of the bigger markets that's growing. Do not sleep on podcasting because you can be a guest on a podcast where you can also market your business. You can share platforms with other people, even if it's a radio show. So think about that too. Outside of social media, when we talk about like digital, don't sleep on podcasting and radio content, because there's still, again, some people who utilize those platforms. So make sure that you go where your customers are. And I say that because if your customers are, always online, then you need to be online. But if you're a brick and mortar store and there's traffic there, then make a way for your customers to recognize who you are or want to come drive to you. There's people that might drive an hour just to support a business because that business is just that dope. You know what I mean? Or drive 2 hours because they personal transparency. I drive about 45 minutes or an hour just to go eat nothing but noodles because I love their pot stickers so much.
Girl, I love nothing but noodles, girl. Oh, there's so many carbs though.
But I love their pot stickers so much, I'm gonna drive an hour just to get 4 or 6 pot stickers. So again, you can be visible without it being digital or on social in on those platforms. So podcasting, mailers, newspapers, any type of print materials, text messaging. I guess we would say email marketing is a part of like digital because it's online, but think about all those platforms without it just specifically being, I just want to post on social all day.
Right. Thank you for sharing those, Jamie. And in addition, I have some that I want to share as well. So one thing that I've learned, especially with being an entrepreneur, is that everybody has a different learning style or receptive style. So y'all, you got to think social media is really focused on visual, but you got to know that it's some people, like for me, I'm not an auditory learner. Like I cannot stand podcasts. Like my attention span, like if I get in the car and I done tried it, like my homegirl sent me, not my homegirl, my homeboy sent me like a business. It was a black entrepreneur one. I'm like, yes, I can't wait to listen. I'm about to get all the tea. God, put it on in the car. I'm riding. And within 5 minutes, I didn't miss the whole beginning of the conversation because my brain gone. Like I'm thinking about something else. And so I realized, okay, I already knew I wasn't an auditory learner, but I knew, okay, this is not going to work for me. I'm a visual learner. So when I see stuff that I can read, that's when that makes me want to buy. You know what I'm saying? So go across all the learning styles. Podcast, that covers your auditory clients. It's people that just want to hear it. They want to ride in their car. They ride in their car for hours. They tired of listening to music, so they going to listen. That gets those people. Your visual learners, that's where your emails, newspaper, magazines, that's where they come in place. You have people that are, what is it? Kinesiology, I forgot what it is.
Like sensory. So it's like
sensory.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for those type of people, that ties to it's kind of hard with outside of, but that goes into, not outside. It's hard to do it now with the pandemic. That goes to hands-on services. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you can do. And for me, an example of that would be for me in massage therapy. Like when I first started, I used to do a lot of free chair massage events. Like it'll be like at a big convention and, they would let us come out there and do massages for free. But I will be allowed to get tips. You know what I'm saying? With my business now, not only am I saying we give good massages, not only do you hear me, not only do you see it, but now you can feel it. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, when people feel the massages, they're like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? This felt so good. I want to book right now. I was able to do instant bookings because I was able to connect with them on that level. So go across all levels, y'all. It's so many ways to market outside of that. So make sure you type into that learning style. Another piece of information would be offer referral incentives. That's what get me. If you tell me if I bring another home girl that we both gonna get something for free, that's all I need to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Since we like freebies,
girl, we don't like free. Girl, BOGO, free, half off. Shoot, you give me 10%, I might think about coming.
Right. I'm a lover of point systems. How many points? Like, real quick, CVS, I love it because as much as I buy in there, I only buy like specific things for CVS. So when those points add up, I get so excited and shocked when I be like, dang, I'm about to go in here and spend like $25. For me, Target is like, CVS is like my Target when locally.
I'm about to say, you spend $25 in
CVS? Listen, I'm telling you, because I be buying like, soap and bulk and stuff. But when the coupons print out and I got like a $5 extra buck or a $3 extra buck. Listen, I get so excited because I'm like, I thought I was going to pay more, but here I got a 40% off. I got $5 extra bucks, $3 off. Listen, this is coming off. So it works for me. So listen, we love incentives. Okay.
Incentives and everything. It doesn't have to be free, but find out what it is. It can be information. Incentive doesn't have to always be stuff that you're losing. It can be information. And think about what works for you in your business. If you already at a price point where you can't take any more money off or you're going to be losing, and money is not, that's not the way to go. But you might be able to do it to where, you can offer a little bit of percentage off, or, if you do this, we'll give you this ebook with this information. Right. There's so many other ways, but offer some type of referral incentive. Next, I have revert back to public relations. PR is like, I know it got kind of crazy, I know, but public relations still works, y'all. Like connecting, like Jamie said before, like radio, all that stuff, getting out there, that pub, having somebody that can put you where you need to be seen. That is the key of a PR. Because I hear a lot of people like, what's the point of having a PR? They put you where your target market is. And of course, that is an expense. That is a marketing expense that, can get costly. But if you save up and invest in it, that keeps you from all the middle work. Because now you ain't got to really find it a lot. They're going to find your target market. They're going to put your business in front of your target market. So don't forget the importance of reverting back to PR.
And with public relations, really quick, make sure it's something that you can create a dynamic story around. A lot of people definitely get public relations misconstrued when it comes to the service of publicity. I'm just not gonna, go out here and pub because you got a car washing business and you just want everybody to know about it. What's spectacular about your car washing business? Your detailing, like, do I get a free massage while I'm waiting on my car to get
Come
detailed?
on.
Are you going to come back and give me a free shampoo, with my car detailing? Like, think about those things when you think about publicity. What's going to make people want to buy into the story that I'm selling? And that's actually the object of publicity or public relations, is to, get people talking about the story that you're telling them so that they can then, tell other people about that story.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, that's important in PR. Definitely a key.
Yeah.
The next tip, and guys, I have two more after this one, but I just wanted to give five that I had. The next tip would be cold calls and cold emails. Y'all, they still work. Cold calls, cold emails, it still works. It's all about how you write it. You got to make sure your heading is compelling. Like, it's certain emails, like, I'm scrolling through, like, if somebody send me an email, like, yeah, 70% off everything today, I'm gonna click. Even if I'm not planning on buying nothing, it might be a brand I ain't even thinking about buying from, but it's something about when I see that 75% off, I'm like, shoot, let me click. So cold calls and cold emails work. And y'all, that's literally, people ask me all the time how I started Pamper Us, how I got contracts with like the Panthers, how I was able to work with the Hornets. Y'all, cold calling. Like, I created a list. I got every, I went on, no, first, I went on LinkedIn, used LinkedIn, went on LinkedIn, typed in my customer person. So when I was trying to get into corporate, I typed in every human resource person in Charlotte, y'all. It's like thousands of them. And I literally, every day when I woke up in the morning, I took an hour and I literally messaged each person every time. And a lot of my contracts, y'all, I got from that. Because in addition to me doing that cold call, cold email, I made sure that my back end stuff was correct. So once they see that and they click on that link, my Pamper Us website was ready for them. They ain't have to look for nothing. The link I gave them when I cold called, it went straight for them looking. I don't want you to look at nothing else but what I can provide for you. As a corporation, I want you to go directly to my corporate page. So when I put that cold call, eliminate the fluff, y'all. They don't need the fluff. Go straight to the pressure point. What is it that this client needs? Hey, are your employees stressed out? Are they overworked? Are they showing signs of fatigue? Massage therapy has proven to be one of the top ways to help retain clients and boost company morale. Girl, and you catch people with certain keywords. You gotta look at your keywords too. Like when human resources see like company morale and stuff, they get excited. I don't know what it is. They love it. So they like, I'm serious, girl. Like, retention and that's really important right now. So from me just cold calling, making sure I have a good heading and making sure that I'm identifying the pressure points, those people hit me back like, hey, Brandy, I do have clients, we have been seeing some shift in our clients. I would love to talk more about your massage therapy for our employees. Boom. That's it. And it took me an hour a day. But with me getting that corporate contract, now I done got a contract for 700 people, not people, $700 to serve a corporation. So that's just an example of how I use cold calls and cold emails to kind of make this thing shake.
Yeah, and if you're using, like, as you said, like cold call, cold email, if you're using like a captivating subject line, that's gonna make people want to stop and open it up. Like, I just thought about one for like your business. You could say in your email, sorry that you missed your appointment. Would you like to reschedule? Then you might be looking like, wait, when did I schedule this? So you might want to open up and be like, dang, like, ooh, and then you see what you're offering, and then now you're intending to book. Like, things like that make people stop, because for them it's like you sending a reminder, like, did I even schedule a massage? I know European Wax does me like this. This was something that I had to subscribe to.
Girl must have still that. Girl, when you
listen,
that.
I'm
You
telling
see
you,
that
it's
in your
gonna
next
work.
email, just
Like,
know that came from
like,
you.
hey, sorry you missed your appointment, or would you like an extra hour, added on, things like that. That's gonna get people stopping. Like, you did 30. What about an extra 30 minutes? For your massage, and it just makes people open the email. Then you can tell them about what your offer is. So if it's making me stop without, just going through automatically when I see a name and, deleting, then that's what I'm going to do. Anything to catch their attention, to for them to stop and say, oh, let me actually stop and read this. I get so many emails where I be like, dang, y'all got me. And then I open up and I be like, I don't need this.
Be mad, girl. I be mad. I'm like, dang. I feel like I done wasted a whole 30 seconds of my life opening this email. I could have opened the other one that I knew I liked, my Smoothie King one. Look.
Exactly. I'm telling you. So something as quick as like, hey, sorry you missed your appointment. Would you like to reschedule? And then they're going to be like, what did I miss? It was a doctor's appointment, a hair appointment. Like, what is it? And then boom, now it's a massage appointment. So listen, I could use a massage. Let me go ahead and schedule for 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Now you got a new customer.
Exactly. And put an incentive in there too, y'all. Like, don't just have, if you're gonna have them click on it, hey, thank you for clicking, just for that, you get 10% off the rip. So now that's even, and put that at the top. So it should be like, get them to click, put an incentive at the top, put your business information, and put a direct link directly to what you want them to purchase. And like I said, your information session should be small. Focus on what's gonna get them to buy. Next, this is number 4 of 5. Collaborate with partners. Y'all, if I didn't collaborate with people, there's no way I would be able to get to where I am. You know what I'm saying? Because you collaborate people, because when you collaborate, not only are you getting more information out to your network, now you're getting connected with their network of people. So like even today with Jamie, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's watching today caught this live, they might have been looking for a branding and marketing specialist. And now that I have Jamie on here talking about her expertise, they know they now have been connected with somebody that can meet their target market. You know what I'm saying? And even when I'm talking about massage therapy, if you're looking for a mobile massage in Charlotte or Greensboro, now I can hook you up. So how do you use collaboration? What are some suggestions that you suggest for collaboration?
So definitely collaboration when it comes to ideas. I'm in my mind so much about being creative when it comes to marketing, or just, creating when it comes to ideas. I'm also a big lover of events too. That's kind of something else that I do when it comes to my businesses, is events. So for that, I'm always wanting to brain dump with someone else who can say, hey, this sounds good, or this doesn't sound good, or hey, do you need me to come help you for a few hours to set up? And then it's like, yeah, I can definitely use somebody to come set up. I don't have a huge team, so that's how we can collaborate. And then in exchange for that, I could be a guest on a podcast. I could be a guest to write a review. There's so many ways that you can collab. Again, it doesn't always have to be, monetary or in exchange for something. It could literally be both of us using our great skill sets to come together to make something happen. So just like you and I are collabing on talking it out about branding and marketing with your business, you're helping to push your business to my network. And then people that are watching from your network now know that there's another person that does marketing, because they may not have seen another, person that does marketing before. So there's several different ways that you can collab with people. It doesn't always have to be from a monetary aspect. It could just simply be showing up for somebody with your business, your expertise, helping them to push through on their side with their business and their expertise.
And that's true. All that is facts. So I want to say that to go into our last tip. Our last tip for branding outside of social media is go to events and network. And even with COVID, y'all, it's still so many virtual networking events going on. Don't be afraid to connect. Like some of my best connections, like some of the venues I've used, I've met these people at networking events. Like literally, like they'll be like, yeah, I got this building, or they'll be like, hey, I just got into this building. I have an event space. I'm like, oh shoot, and we talking, we chit-chatting. Once you create that relationship, like most of the time they give me this, like, you know what? I enjoyed this conversation with you. If you come into my venue, I'm gonna make sure I hook you up. I'm gonna give you a bar, something for free, or I'm gonna give you 20% off. So now I done met my needs and I'm getting it at a discounted rate. And it just came from me organically talking to people, y'all. We gotta get past social media commenting. Y'all gotta learn how to effectively, verbally communicate with the people that you're trying to get to buy your product.
Yeah.
If you cannot communicate verbally, if you can't network, if you can't really tell anybody what your business is doing, your business is not going to grow, because social media is only going to take you so far. And that's for real.
Yeah, one tip that I used to do when I was looking to get myself out there just as a personal brand, I used to research people that I wanted to meet or work with or things like that. And then you know what I would do? Find out where they would be in my area, and I would show up to those events and introduce myself. I didn't quite have a tag for exactly what I did, but I let them know what I was interested in. Hey, how can I be an asset to you and your business or your company? Here are the things that I could do to help, whether it's something as simple as showing up to, again, help them set up for something, help them take down for something. Can I be a spokesperson for you, just to help spread the message? Hey, I'll post a flyer for you, or I'll post, your event and share it with more people. Like the concept and idea of communication is falling because we click, we share, we comment, everything is digital. But when you get back out there, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Show up where you need to show up, be in the places where your customers are going to be. Make sure that people see you, because again, I can't support what I don't see. So I can't complain about nobody supporting me, buying my product, booking services with me if I'm not visible. That's going to be key. So like Brandy said, outside of social media, go and network. You never know who you might meet while you're out and about in these streets. Don't be for the streets, but get out in the streets and make
Come
sure
on, don't
that
be
you
for the streets.
make sure you networking with the right people. And again, filter through the fluff. If people are just talking and they don't have nothing to show for it, put them people to the side. Find the people that's really going to be true and do the work. You will see those people and you will know, because once you put them to the test of what they're supposed to execute and they can't deliver, you know not to deal with those people anymore.
So lesson learned, honey.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is all about an ongoing lesson. You make a mistake, you fix it, you move on. Like
Right.
that's literally how this process go. And don't let your small mistakes be a deterrent for you. You gonna mess up. You gonna fall short. You gonna have clients cuss you out. They're gonna be angry. You gonna do something wrong. But just know that's a part of the process. Pray on that thing if you a prayer, or talk to yourself and move forward. Know that entrepreneurship is a ongoing thing. It doesn't stop. It does nothing. You gotta hop that hurdle, keep on going. Don't make the same mistake twice. That's kind of like how I try to roll my life.
Right.
But so Jamie, can you tell us how everybody can reach you if you are looking for a branding and marketing specialist? Jamie has given great tips, and she would love to connect with you and really kind of give you these tips and show you how to implement everything we talked about today on how to market your business outside of social media. So, Jamie, what's the best way for everybody to reach you?
So right now, the best way to reach out to me is to email me. I do have a website, but I took it down because, again, we can always refresh, restart, renew our businesses. So I'm going to open my books up for January 2021. Right now, you can reach me at Jamie, Jamie, at the 518 group. So that's THE, the numbers 518group.com to book a consultation with me, or just a 15-minute call, just to tell me exactly what you're looking for. Because if I can't help you and provide the service, I can always refer you to someone that will. I'm not stingy with clients. I'm big on what's not my ministry, I don't handle. So
Come
I'll
on, sis.
gladly send you to somebody who can and get you together. I'm in a sharing community of people, and I don't believe in hogging anybody, because what's not for me is not for me. The right clients will find you, and those will be the people that you service, and y'all are going to make beautiful music together. But if they are not for you, then you can pass them along to the next person and allow that person to bless them with their services and their talents and skill sets. So yes, you can email me, and I'm also on Facebook, my business page. You can search for the 518 group on Facebook. But for now, the biggest thing is just to email me. Yes. Until I get my site back up. It'll be up this month. I took it down because I was getting calls and people sending me messages, and I'm like, I'm not quite doing anything yet. So I didn't want people to feel like they were coming to me and, I was a false page. So I took it down on purpose.
No, no worries. I totally understand, and you did what you had to do. It's time for you to regroup,
Yep.
refocus. And now
Yes.
2021, she accepting clients. So if you're looking for somebody to help you brand, she is the plug. Outside of that, if you are a new entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, you've been sitting on a business all 2020 and you want to get that thing rolling and you really don't know how, I would love to be of assistance. I specialize in startup marketing, startup branding, and I would love to be an asset for you. I work with my clients step by step. I take you from the vision phase to the preparing your product. I get you a business plan. We can literally get your full business running if you're ready within 30 days. But the max is 6 sessions with me, and you will have a full, legit, foundational, sound business. And it's all affordable. And I'm doing it for the people because we need it. I love y'all, and we got to get to this money because we missing it. We
Yes,
missing
yes, we are really missing it. And again, don't be afraid to start over. What didn't work the first time? Restructure, regroup, and come back harder. Because you know what? All you can do is just learn from that. Let that failure that you feel like was a failure be a lesson to know what you won't do the next time. Okay? There's room for
okay.
growth and improvement. Let's not be afraid to say, you know what, that didn't work. We're not machines that are going to constantly keep going and going and going and going and going. We can learn from this, and then we don't know everything either. That's something else we got to understand. Don't be afraid to learn from other people. Brandy, I learned some stuff from you tonight that I sometimes don't consider. I'm sure it was vice versa. Like we
Definitely was
we
vice
can't be
versa.
afraid to feed off, especially when it's good energy. Feed off of others, learn from others within our network, within our industry, because that's how we grow and we build together. Talk about breaking bread. That's how you break bread with your people. Okay. Don't be stingy. If you're in it for the wrong reason, exit stage left. That's all I got.
Hey, and with that, we're going to end this thing. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. Please feel free to follow me, the entrepreneur. Follow Jamie at the 518 group. We're on Facebook and Instagram. If you're looking to start a business or if you started a business and you want to get that thing back rolling, I can get you what you need. Consulting session starting at $20. I got you. I'm here for the people. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Good night.
Thank you, Brandy, so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
You're the best. You're dope. Go book a massage with her.